All right, guys, we're gonna do a little story time. And it's gonna be about my beauty school experience because I found out recently that my school doesn't even exist anymore. So, often on my channel, a lot of you guys, I refer to, especially when I'm doing hair or anything of that nature, I refer to myself going to beauty school. I don't think that, I'm gonna just start off by saying this, I don't think that it's a requirement by a long shot, but it definitely helps. So if you plan on being like a stylist of some sort, you're gonna need those hours because you're gonna need those to go to the state board and get your license. So yeah, so sit back because it's gonna be kind of lengthy. So around like 2005, 2006, I wasn't doing anything with myself. I was kind of just sitting back, relaxing, maxing, and my mom came up with the bright idea to say, "Hey, I think you should, do you want to go to beauty school?" I was like, no, I didn't want to do no school. After high school, I was like, I will never do any more school. You guys know I will get into that in a separate video. I hated high school because it was just a lot. I don't like getting up in the morning. You guys know, if y'all know me, y'all know I sleep till nights and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, it was just a whole lot. And I loved things about school, but it was not enough to want to do it again. So when she brought this to me, I was just kind of like, no, just absolutely not. She told me to think about it. I thought about it and I was like, okay, well, at least, because at this particular point, none of my friends were doing anything. We were going to, if you guys knew me from MySpace, you guys know I was going to movie premieres like every other day. I was at parties. I was doing everything at 18, 19 that, I wasn't supposed to be doing. So I wasn't in a relationship anymore at that point. I was just kind of good. I just wanted some free time, some me time. But it doesn't always work, so I had to kind of get on a good foot. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go just to kind of see how it is. So at the time, I had a friend who went to junior high school with me, and she was currently enrolled. So I asked her a couple of questions about it, and she was like, yes, this is, that, and the other. And if you guys are from LA of any sort, you guys will know where Inglewood is, and you guys will know where Market Street is. So the school was Marinello School of Beauty, and it was on Market Street. And I was like, okay, this should be fun. This should be, so I kind of went to kind of get a vibe, and everybody seemed very cool. It just, you have your ratchets, you have those, the more of the hood of the bunch, but it seemed cool. It wasn't nothing that I wasn't, didn't know about. I grew up in the hood, so it wasn't like, oh. So I went ahead and filled out the application, got in, and I remember the first day of getting there, I was so nervous because I'm like, I had been out of school for like a year and a half, 2 years at that point. So I wasn't used to this structured life. So I'm like, oh God, what did I sign myself up to? Like, I'm about to fail so bad. So I remember it was raining that day, and my friend that to this day, I love you to death, girl. We called her Kyla, but she was the first person that I had met. So we were sitting in the lobby and we were having, I don't remember what the conversation was about, but it was just like, we're the first two people here. So, okay. Because you have all the seniors who are already on the floor. We're freshmen, so we don't know nothing about nothing. So, somebody else that I knew had actually enrolled too. Now, my friend Nicole was supposed to enroll with me. This was supposed to be us. And then at the last minute, her ass dropped out and was like, I'm not going to do it. So I literally was by myself. So I get into the freshman room. I only know Kyla. And then there was another girl that I knew that went to junior high school with me as well, named Asia. So we were all kind of starting out together. So nobody really knew. Everybody was just kind of like, hey, we all done bit the bucket and gonna kick the bucket. It's what it is. So you're in the freshman room, I believe, for about 2 months, and then you graduate and you go downstairs and then you start to have clients. I remember that freshman week was rough for a player, okay? Because I just wasn't used to being around people like that. I wasn't used to having to get up. I wasn't regimented to do anything. I couldn't remember like what was what. We had all these doll heads. We had this big ass bag. It was full of clips. It had curlers in it. It was just, And I'm just thinking to myself, like, oh my God, I made the wrong decision. Like, this is something I don't want to do this. So you're only allowed to miss, because I went for full time. It wasn't doing nothing else. So I went for full time, and you're only allowed for those 10 months that you're there to miss 15 days. Okay? Now, remember I told you guys that you're only in the freshman room for 2 months. By the third week, I was out of time. I had used every 15 days up. Okay? So now what happens is they had it in, it states in your contract that you would have to make, like, with the days you went over, you would have to pay them back money as if you were at a job. So if your job was giving you $8.50, I would have to pay them back $8.50 for every hour that I went over those 15 days. So they say they will work with you. And good for me, in school I've always learned to be a good student. So if I ever need something, my instructors or teachers would be more happy to oblige. Finally get all of our stuff. We kind of get in the swing of things. And at this point, we were probably there for about, it was going almost on 2 months. So it started to become very normal to me at that point. I was getting up on a regular basis. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. And because I went over those days, I knew that you ain't really got much of a choice, because you're able to drop out, I think, the first week that you're there, and you won't be charged anything, and you get like your initiation fee or your entry fee, which I think was like $111. You get that back. So for me, I was just kind of like, I don't know, but I guess I'm just gonna roll with it. So I remember graduating to the floor, okay, is what we call it, and getting my first client. I would never forget this girl. Her name was Cinnamon. And she asked me for a pressing curl. Well, when you learn in school for a pressing curl, and even in your book, a pressing curl is you press it and you curl it. Okay? Well, because I was in the hood, a pressing curl meant you pressed, flat ironed, and that was it. So I got the ticket. It said pressing curl. I literally Shirley Templed this girl's whole entire head. She was pissed off. She was mad. I remember she went in the bathroom and called her mom. And I'm just kind of like, oh God. So this is what my life is about to be right now. But nobody explained to me that this is what you do here. Okay, this is the curriculum for Inglewood. This is not necessarily the curriculum for life, because some people will say press and curl and they really mean that. But for us, that really just meant press, flat iron. There you go. So that was a lesson learned. Once I kind of got there, when I first went, my hair was short and it was curly. That's how I was wearing it. I think I had like a taper at the time. And when you're in school and you have all these products available to you, everybody wants to do something. So for me, it was color. My hair was this color in school. It was, when I first got there, it was red, orange, and black. So my roots were black, the tips were red, and the middle was orange, and all of it was an accident. So I got to be known as the boy with the blue hair or the boy with the colored hair. So that's how my clients would start booking me. And I will say this, you learn a lot in school, because there's a book and your chart is laid out with your time card of all the things you have to do in order to get your 1,500 hours. And I learned the basics really quick. All the stuff that you guys know me to do now, I learned that from the girls that I went to school with. So the girl that I told you about, Kyla, she was the one who got me into color. Okay, she's the one who explained just simple things to me, and she's from Texas, so you know they don't play in Texas. And I remember she was the first person who taught me how to do a quick weave. I didn't know what the hell to do. I didn't know you could glue tracks to a cap. Like, I didn't know that was even an option. So I learned that from her. It was another girl. I learned how to do a fishtail from a girl named Yvonne. It was just, what I will say is that I learned way more than I had anticipated when I first initially went, because I didn't know what it was going to be. And then you have all of these different people from different walks of life that are teaching you all of these different techniques that they've learned and they've picked up. You know, only thing I could do when I got there was press. That was it. I could press your soul, but even that needed work because I still learned things while I was there. You know, it was a boy named Kenneth that was there, and me and him really just didn't mesh very well. But I hear great things that he's doing, and I'm happy for him. I met a lot of talented people, and I think whatever, like, I went into the situation like, I don't want to do this, but then it turned out to be great things. So even the way that a lot of people ask me questions about how straight I get my wigs and my weaves, I learned that in school, and I learned that from a little hairspray, a little pressing comb, and a good flat iron to take you very far. And if I wouldn't have went, I don't think that I would be standing here right now. So I want to thank my mama. Mama, thank you. Because she kind of pushed me to do it, and maybe I wouldn't be standing here if I didn't go to beauty school. But it was just a great experience for me. And for me, because I didn't go to college, that was my college. Because I was going with people that were younger than me, and I was part of the youngest group there, and then people who were about as old as my granny. So it was just a plethora of folks that went there, and we all had our moments. You know, I always say, if reality shows were what they were then that they are now, we would have been the top rated on VH1 because it was a mess. But for my instructors, just everybody, I just want to thank them. I heard the school now has no accreditation, so how about that? But just everybody from Kyla to Yvonne to Sherry, Mr. Tubbs, Miss Lindo, all of, you know, just everybody, Miss Bibbs, everybody that I went to school with, Kanisha, everybody that was there taught me so much that I can do now. And all of that came from, because you guys, mind you, we was there from 8:30 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. And then when I had to serve hours, I got to tell you that part. So, remember I told you guys that you have to pay the school back after you go over your hours? Well, my instructor worked something out where as long as I would serve those hours in night school, which night school was from 6 to 10, I believe. That was part-time for the part-time people. So I was there from 8:30 in the morning to about 10:30 at night, serving hours, because I decided I didn't want to wake up on 15 days. So if you commit to something, folks, make sure you do it, because you'll end up like me. And I'm gonna tell you, when I got out of school, I will honestly say I did not want to do hair. Hair was the furthest thing from my mind. And I think it's like with anything, when you have something that you really like and then it's kind of pressed down your throat so much, it makes you not want it anymore. If you eat too much ice cream, you're going to eventually get sick. So for me, when I got out of school, everybody was like, we about to go to the board. I'm about to get my license. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. And I was like, peace. I got my hours and I peaced out, and that was it. I didn't want shit to do with hair no more. So when I got on YouTube, my video started off like about talking. That was all it was just like me talking about things that I felt. But I would make sure that my hair was done in every video, because again, I learned the trade. I just didn't want to do it as a profession. That doesn't mean that I didn't know how to do it. I just didn't want to. So I would make sure my hair was done, and then I would get all these questions about my hair in the comments, and I'm just kind of like, okay, do you really want to know? Because I took it as everybody knows this, but clearly not. So I did Sheena's Hair Emporium. I did those reviews, and then that spiraled to me to where I am today. So my experience was one of the most, I will say, positive experiences for me, going down and making something. Because a lot of my friends who went, they work at shops now, they own shops now, they own hair companies and stuff like that. For me, it turned out to be a different thing. We're still in the hair industry. I'm just not in it as a stylist technically. I'm a stylist for the people on myself versus a stylist that has clients. So it's a bit different. See, it was Sherry, Kim, Erica, DJ, Jen, Dawn. Dawn was my homie. Dawn was like Keisha Cole with a big ass booty and a big mouth, and that we was ride or die. She was actually the first person I knew who had blue hair, and I seen hers and really wanted it, and then it became my signature, which is funny because I had just did red. Who else went to school? Nancy, Tanika. Tanika was backstory. Tanika's sister was the first person to do the braids that I am now known for. So Tanika had them in school. And then at the time, Tiffany was like working on what she was doing. And she was like, Tanika's sister had did my hair, but my hair was really short at the time. And she did it. And then when it started to grow out, Tiffany started to braid my hair like Tanika's sister used to do hers. So Tanika and Arlette are the people who started the whole braid situation. The way that they look, they did that. Then it kind of fell into my lap. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Brittany, Asia, Tracy, Tamika. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. Velma. The other Tiffany. I don't know. I that's the only people I can remember. I love all of you guys. If you guys are watching this, thank you. I hope you guys are doing well in life. But I am very happy that I went. I'm very happy that things turned out the way that they were. I want to thank everybody that I went to school with, who helped me, who got to know me, who just knew me as the crazy kid who just was everywhere talking shit all the time. Thank you. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this. So if you guys are thinking about going to a school for hair or for nails or for skin or for any of that, make sure that it's something that you really want to do, because paying that damn loan back, baby, was a lot. Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch y'all in my next one. Peace.